What's going on, traders? How we doing? Sorry, running a little bit late per usual. I thought I hit the start streaming button before I went off to do what I was doing with the kids there for a minute, and then had to go to the bathroom, all that good stuff. So sorry for not having it up and running. Got about 2 minutes here to the bell, and yeah, don't really have anything on the watch list. Just gonna be watching for the scanners, let them do their thing. Marketing, what's up? Good morning. Good luck as well. And yeah, so again, sorry for not having that running. Totally thought I hit it. I guess I didn't. Kind of was a hit and run, and I guess I just forgot to actually hit it. Alex, what's up, man? Good luck as well. Thomas, good morning. As you can see, the SPY, despite everything going on in the world, or in the United States, I should say, just climbing away. I don't quite get it myself, but hey, it's going to do its thing, regardless of what I think. So I'm just going to do my best to trade while it does its thing. And that's all we can do. So got about a minute and a half here to the bell. Again, good luck to everybody. If you are trading with TradeNet, I don't know if you guys heard, but if you are in the United States as well, no longer as of yesterday will they be accepting U.S. citizens. It was kind of out of the blue. Made a video about it yesterday. Going to look to update as I get more information. But yeah, you're not allowed to trade with TradeNet anymore. It's something to do with TEFS, their supplier of the accounts themselves. So apparently it's not TradeNet's decision. Apparently it was an issued statement by TEFS telling TradeNet, hey, we can't supply accounts to U.S. citizens anymore. And it was pretty abrupt notice as well. So Oliver, what's up, man? Position size, we are just now starting to go up a little bit. So yeah, it's getting there. I'm gonna go with Thyre. Good morning. How we doing? Yeah, I don't know. It could be Theory, but I'm gonna go with Thyre. I don't know. You tell me. Is it thigh, like thigh? THIGH, or is it tier, like TEER? But yeah, we finally went back to the 112 system, Oliver. We actually steered away from it for a little bit after that big loss on LYV, and we are finally getting back to it. So here comes the bell. There it is. Good luck to everybody. See if the scanners can give us something good to play today. Yesterday was a little bit of a down day, a little bit of a bummer. Totally didn't give you guys the intro this morning, but I will give you the note here. It says, you've heard this before. Fear equals false evidence appearing real. It's a pretty good one. It's an acronym, fear. So false for the F, evidence for the E, appearance for the A, and real for the R. False evidence appearing real. I like it. So as usual, just going to be watching the scanners here, looking for some plays. Usually it takes about a minute or two for something to kind of pop up that we like. Here we go with VRML. See if we can get a little extension here up towards 5. BZUN as well. Here we go with that move towards 5. Watching BZUN as well. I was about to hit it just because I see this big order sitting here on the ask, but we'll see what it does. It's getting eaten through. Kind of a big drop there. It's a little spready for a $4 stock. Looking like I want to start BZUN here. Gonna start BZUN. Got 33.53. Still watching VRML here. We'll go full screen so you guys can, well, I guess you guys can't really see it. There's that 493 again. It's going through. Put an order out near 33 for most of our shares on BZUN. See if it wants to get down there. Watching VRML here at 5. BZUN, quite the spread here. There we go. Got a nice little drop. We were almost on the bid there for a second. Here we go through 5. All right, we're going to start VRML here. Oh, geez. BZUN absolutely shot up against us there. Didn't even notice that till just now. I was just about to hit it too. It's an interesting move there. Still watching it. All right, we're going to get our ad in here. What's that put our average at? 518. Not a huge fan of BZUN right now. Geez, BZUN actually shot up way against us here. Just going to add to BZUN here. Dang, look at VRML here. Not looking too good. Right, we got the ad there. Ooh, let's go. Let's go on that one, boys. Let's go. Give us that drop under 5. We're going to lock another little bit there. Not liking BZUN. I'm going to put my stop at high a day there. See if it wants to come back down, though. We'll give it one more little shot. All right, we're gonna take another attempt. Of course, there it goes. Finally, we were looking for that 5 test, but now we'll be down to our leftovers. Over here to BZUN, looking for, we got 33.93. Looking to actually just kind of get out of this one. I do have my stop sitting at high of day, just in case. There was the drop. I should have took that. See if we can get back down there. We're just going to take the whole thing there, boys. Let's go. Look at that trade. Let's go. Let's go. And I totally missed the drop here on BZUN. Eric, it's dropping back down now. Come on, give me that bid drop. Or ash drop, I should say. There we go. Going to take 75% off there on BZUN. And I'll put the stop back in at high of day. Looking for this to get back down towards 33 for the rest here on BZUN. Since we're done with VRML, we can show you what we're looking at here. So this actually went up against this after this pullback because I was paying attention to VRML, but not a big deal. Haven't really seen too much else going on here. Gonna put a range order in. Hold on one sec, bud. Let me just put this range order in, bud. We'll put it at 33.10, 34.55 for the rest. Let's cancel this one. Get that in. All right, give me one sec. All right, and we're back. You were in BZUN? Yeah, BZUN wasn't too bad. I probably wouldn't have let this go against this like I did. I probably would have cut that at high of day just for a small loss. But I was paying attention to VRML, so kind of caught me off guard. VRML, yeah, I thought I was saying that wrong, is actually scooping all the way back up there. So our exit on VRML is looking pretty awesome at the moment. Still looking for other things here. Riot is actually setting up nice, but we don't have any shares there. Range isn't that great. Would still need a little bit more of an extension as well. Thank you, Oliver. I actually, believe it or not, the emotions were kicking on that one, so it felt good. It was the first time I hit that 112 in a while, got full position. But it felt good. Like, it felt fairly normal. So pretty happy. Like, but I could feel the emotions, right? But you should always be feeling those. If you don't feel those, you're too comfortable. Here we go. We're getting the breakdown here on BZUN. We're just sitting here at 10, not looking to be too greedy, looking for the 33 test. Obviously, this could fade the rest of the day. There we go. We're on the bid. We're actually going to take 60% there. What? Did I do something wrong there? No, okay. We're going to take 60% because that is what I wanted to try to do from here on out anyways. I want to start getting into the habit of taking 75%, then 60%. And basically what that does is leaves us with 10% of our full position. So now we'll have 10% looking for this to get down through 33 and see if it actually wants to keep going. There it goes. If we can get a nice push down, I'll look to just take it here, which we did not. So now we could put a trail in. I actually missed my, I thought we were getting 17, but we got 22, but it's okay. Stop, trail. Let's put in a, I would like to see this try to fade the rest of the day. So let's give it 75 cents here, since we know it's kind of spready too. So there we go. All right, so that'll trail down as long as we keep going lower, and we'll move on here. That's what I was gonna do with VRML as well, but that thing decided to just keep on going. So as you can see our trail coming down as the price goes lower. So pretty happy with that's a pretty good range trail, I think. We're gonna look for this to really get back down here towards that 3150 area. Which if we can get down there and test 32, I'll look to pull it back up and just kind of take those shares. But we'll see what it does. So VRML, coming back and looking at this one. This one actually almost went back to high a day. So got a nice cover down there underneath 5. Yeah, Rags, man, he's a tap dancer for sure. Part of me wants to get back in this, just risking off high of day. And look at that top tick on the last one. That was nice. That was like the perfect ad. What I really wanted was this thing to go high of day and go through 6. But it's looking like it wants to try to form some sloppy seconds here. That was such a huge drop. Somebody definitely messed up on a market order or something. That was pretty nuts. Little one's yelling at us. Yeah, VRML. Nice little sloppy seconds forming here. See what it does at VWAP. So we got a nice little trail down here to 33.37. Like I said, if we get a move down towards 32, most likely just going to take it. But it's looking like it's trying to base here. 32.62. We know this thing can get pretty spready, so if it does get through 33, it could jump up there and stop us out, which would be fine. Don't stick it so far in there, mister. That's what she said. I want to go back and watch VRML on that drop, which I will later, obviously, but that was damn nice. That's why sometimes I feel like trading more than 2 or 3 stocks at a time can be difficult, because a lot of times you'll miss that, right? That was such a quick move. And granted, it did go lower, but you guys saw it popped right back up after we nailed it. And then it started to come back down towards 5 and hover there. But you got to be quick with those sometimes, because see the move it made here, it can bounce after that huge move. People eat that mistake up, and then it goes straight back to high a day, and you're still full size, right? Because you were too busy trading, multiple other stocks, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. I want to get to that point where I can trade, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stocks at a time. But at the same time, the ones, I guess you just have to identify which ones are moving a little bit faster than the others, just in case, so you can really kind of pay attention to them. And I guess if you're in a situation where you're looking to get the 2 part of the 112, you kind of know what's going on, because you're probably adding into a continuous mover, which we had. So can't be too upset with how it turned out. That was such a nice squeeze there. We just nailed that thing. Like I said, we're still looking for other ones. IDRA, not too much going on there. LTM, nothing there. 6 is too much. I try to stick to 3 to 4. Yeah, a lot of people, 4 is usually like their number. But I have no problem trying to trade more than 4 if the opportunity is there. But when you're trading the way that I am, it can be a little difficult. But when you're building positions, sometimes it's not that big of a deal. But I specifically look for the intense moves. So for me, trying to trade more than even 3, to me, would probably be pretty tough, because that would take a lot of mental capacity. BZUN tried to drop down here, but now it's starting to come back up. It used that 32.50 area as support. I was watching it, seeing if it wanted to drop through. As you can see, it went right back up to 33. Now it's going right through. This thing's squeezing back up. See what it does here at VWAP. Our stop's actually in a pretty good place here, because it's above VWAP and the moving average that everyone likes to look at. So let's see if that can hold it down. Maybe a little fake out through 33 here before going lower. But we are in a green trade no matter what here. As you can see, we're below our average. Our average is sitting at 33.93. So on these last shares, we're guaranteed over 60 cents at this point. And there's the fake out through 33. Coming back down. See if we can get down through 32.50. Put an order out there at 32.01. So we're just going to take it right there. That was a pretty good drop. That was close enough to what I was getting ready to put it in for. And it was a pretty quick drop through 32.50. So pretty happy with that one as well. So 2 good trades so far today, guys. Very happy with both of them. Like I said, we probably would have restarted BZUN here, but we probably would have cut through high of day. 33.67. Our entry was at 33.53. So we would have had like a paper cut, essentially. And then we would have looked to re-enter looking for this. And there it did go through 32. Dang, so we would have got our fill down there. But I am not going to be mad at all with that one. My chart and GDT's chart look very similar. I think actually he started his a little bit earlier. Yeah, it looks like he started on this candle, it looks like. Oh no. Oh yeah, it was on this candle. Oh snap. Jeez. GDT said he made over, I'm assuming his Q is still the same at 100. And he said he made 5x Q on it, so he's up 500 just on BZUN. Well done. APRN, did I miss one there? Nah, I wouldn't trade this anyway. Looks very grindy. Some interesting volume here on GSKY. What'd you do, Thomas? You guys started early? I started early on VRML. I mean, unless you got in under 5. But if you got in under 5, it really wouldn't make too much sense. That wasn't, to me, that wasn't extended enough at that point. You messed up on VRML because you should have traded it? Are you saying you missed it? Thank you, by the way, guys, for saying nice trade. Appreciate that. What a day, guys. What a day. Look at that. VRML absolutely killing it. BZUN, that was actually an above average trade, considering. Like I said, using the amount of money divided by price, it can get a little out of hand when there's 2 downfalls to it. VRML is case number 1, where you have a lower price stock where you're going to end up with a lot of shares and it has a good range, right? So if it has $1 range and you're getting in with 100 shares for your first entry, then that's $100 every point, right? So if it has that kind of range, which you can see it does on this, it went from 450 up to 550, then you're talking a decent amount. But in the reverse aspect, which would be case number 2, where you have, say, a $300 stock that is making a great move and the range is only, like, take the SPY. Let's take a look at the SPY real quick. It's a perfect example. So you have the SPY where it's a $300 stock, but its range sometimes is only a point. So no different. So a $300 stock and a $5 stock have the same range, but I can afford way more shares of a $5 stock than I could the SPY, right? If I hit the 600 divided by price button on the SPY, I'm going to get 2 shares, not even. It's probably just going to give me 1 share. So that's a big difference, because now if it moves a point, it's $1 versus if I have 100 shares of a $5 stock and it moves a point, it's $100, right? So that's the one downfall to using the amount divided by price because of that. So, but it's going to fluctuate because there are $300 stocks that are going to be moving 10, 15, 20 points at in a few candlesticks, where the SPY is kind of an abnormal one. But you have something like Tesla, where this thing, look at the range on this, it's 20 points. So granted, this is a lot more expensive, but there are $300 stocks. Facebook, a little bit better. Like right now, this has about 5 points of range. It's a $230 stock, but you guys get the idea. The strategy again, it's more simple than you would think, but basically you're looking for overextended moves. I love looking at previous resistance. So in this case, we had one sitting here around that 450 area. Brian's about to be mad at VRML. He had just got out of it, and then look at what it's doing. But I love to look for previous resistance, and I like to look for extensions through previous resistance. So when we get far enough, I usually look for $half-dollar whole dollars, and then I'll look to get in above those. And that's exactly what we did. This thing decided to keep squeezing. So if it decides to keep squeezing, that's perfect, right? The more intense the move, or I like to say the stronger the move, the weaker the trend. So if this wants to keep going all at once, that's fine. 1, 1, 2. So if you'll see, our first entry was 118 shares, same thing with the second, and then we double up on the last one for 236. So 1, 1, 2. And basically we're looking for that reversal, right? We're counter trend trading. That's basically what we're doing. We're looking for that big move to finally run out of buyers, run out of FOMO, and looking for the dump off just like we got. It's not always going to be a nice dump off like this one, but thankfully in this case it was, right? Sometimes these are going to happen, whether it was a screw up market order or something like that, so be it. But the other thing too is when we get these moves, I'm usually looking for it to come back down to a previous resistance. So as you can see, it did build a little bit of resistance right here, right at the 495 area. And as you can tell, when it did come back down, that's where it got bought back up. So usually when you bust through a previous resistance, they tend to come back down and test that area before deciding what it wants to do next. And as you can see, it decided to try to go back up towards high of day, kind of formed a sloppy seconds, and now we're getting that bouncy ball effect, right? High, come down, bounce up, lower high, bounce, and then usually you'll go even lower. But in this case, it was trying to stay strong and move back up. But as you can see, it failed here. So it's coming back down. The odds are we'll go lower than this 484 area, 482, because it tried to stay bullish and failed. So now you're going to have a lot of people that are holding the bag from up here that are just cutting their losses because they see that it's not going back towards the highs and whatnot. So, but yeah, the strategy itself is fairly simple. I ended up with, I don't know how many shares it was, to be honest. I don't look at my P&L while I'm trading. I just happened to look over after I hit the 75% button. I was a little astounded. I didn't realize that we were that far up there. And I'm actually curious. I'll check it real quick. 118 plus 118 plus 236. So 472. So almost 500 shares, yeah. And if we want to take, let's see. Let's do the math real quick. What was our, do we know what our average was? I guess I could go back real quick and look. I want to say it was 5. We'll just figure it out. So our first entry was 510. We added at 527. So divide that by 2. That's our average. And then we added at 557. And divide that by 2. So 537.75, and how many shares did we have? I forgot that quick. 118 plus 118 plus 236, 472. So the high of day was 561. So I'm just doing some math here. So 561 minus 537, 561 minus 537.75 23 cents. So times that by 472. So our risk at the highest point was 109.74. So if this was to go back against us and stop us out at high of day, that's how much we would have lost, 109.74. And we ended up making 143.42. So I cannot be upset with that. Right? Absolutely cannot be upset. Anytime you're making more than you're risking is a good thing, especially when you're using such a high win percentage strategy. BZUN, we could do the same thing. Let's see, BZUN 33.53 plus 34.33 divided by 2. So our average was 33.93. The high was 34.55. So 34.55 minus 33.93. And we only had 17, so we had 34 shares. So times 34. So this is the case where we were risking a little bit more. Like I said, this one got away from us a little bit, but not that big of a deal. So we were risking 21.08. We ended up making 15.88 on it. So again, not that bad, right? If you're making close to what you're risking on any given trade and you're winning 95% of the time, you're gonna be just fine. I'll say over 90% of the time. But right now we are on a little bit of a hot streak. What is your risk now in dollars? Well, that's where the calculation of risk comes in. Let me take a look at CVNA real quick, see what you're seeing. Yeah, this is getting a little extended. I don't like the volume, though. I'm not a fan of the volume. LTM is actually looking really good, but the range kind of sucks. My risk right now, basically what it boils down to is I have a max risk, which in my mind is set to $200. So any given trade, I don't want to lose more than 200. But as you could see right there, I did 112 and it was getting to the point where if I had to add again and it kept going, we would have been near $200, but we never got through where my max loss would have been 110 on that given trade. So that's what I shoot for. But if the opportunity presents itself, like let's go back to VRML real quick. If this wants to keep squeezing all on this same move, 112 is really just a guideline. And this was kind of a light bulb moment that I had over the weekend where if this wanted to keep going to 6 all on the same candle, I can't be afraid to whack-a-mole that thing again. And if you guys noticed, it was actually about to halt. That was part of the reason why I hit it where I did, because I thought we were going to get a little bit more of a squeeze up towards like 580, and I was going to let it go before I hit it that one last time, because we did get this ad a little too close. But based off of how it was feeling in here, I felt like the range wasn't going to be that big, but then it squeezed, right? And that's what you want. If anything, that should excite you. Yes, it's going against you, but what do we know? The stronger the move, the weaker the trend. So that actually should excite you a little bit. And if it wanted to run all the way up to 6, if it could have without a halt, on this same move that was pushing up through 550, so be it, right? I should want to be able to hit that thing again, because if anybody plays poker, let's think of it this way. The board is ace, ace, as I'm talking about Hold'em, by the way, ace, ace, king, king, 2. Right? And you got pocket kings. So you got 4 kings. There's only one hand that could possibly beat you, which is ace ace, right? But are you ever folding 4 kings? No, right? You're never going to do that. So if you get that move up towards 6 on the same move, to me, that's what that is. That is saying, okay, I got 4 kings. Let's play. You're going to raise me. Well, guess what? I got 4 kings. And there's only one hand that you can have that can beat me, and I'm willing to risk that you don't have that hand. And as you can see, I mean, you can even put that in just this trade, right? So when I hit that add button, that was me saying, okay, I got 3 kings right now. The odds of you having, like ace king, this is before the 4th king comes, but it's like the odds of you having a better hand are still not good, so let's go. And as you can see, we turned over our cards and we won. So I like to reference poker a lot because a lot of trading, the same mentality comes from poker player's mindset. Risk management, playing the odds, having an edge. It's all the same kind of stuff. So marketing asks, how do you calculate the risk? Well, that's where you're calculating it based on the monetary value that you are using to divide by the price. So basically last week, you know that we were at 500 divided by price. So naturally our risk is going to be smaller. And like I said, it's a little bit more difficult to associate a set risk amount based on using this formula. Because when you use this formula, like I was saying earlier, if you have $5, a $5 stock, and it can move $1, that's going to be, it's going to be a bigger number when it comes to P&L, because you are going to be able to afford more shares of a $5 stock. Now, if you take a same 1-point range and apply it to a $50 stock, you're now only getting 10% of the shares, because now it's a $50 stock instead of a $5 stock. But if it's making the same move, so if this same move happened on a $50 stock and we played that instead of this $5 stock, we would have made $15.93, right? We would have only made 10% of what we made. But because it made this move on a $5 stock, we could afford 10 times the amount of shares. So that's the one downfall per se of this strategy, is when you get stocks of a lower price that can really move, it can really kind of throw your risk up in the air a little bit. But again, you should be trading it the exact same way that you would any other chart, right? You should be playing the chart, not the P&L anyway. So if you're trading the chart the exact same way with the exact same monetary value divided by price every single time, over time, it's going to all even itself out, right? Because there's going to be $5 charts or $5 tickers that only move 20 cents. There's going to be $5 tickers that move $1. There's going to be $50 tickers that move $1, and there's going to be $50 tickers that move 20 cents. So as long as you play them all the same way, over time, they are going to really even themselves out. And another way to look at it is, if you get into a $5 stock and you realize it has a little bit more range, then space your ads out a little bit more. But if you get into it and you realize it only has like a 20-cent range, then you can get your ads a little bit closer together, right? So that first entry is usually, okay, I'm invested in this trade. You really start to pay attention to the price action, and you can really start to feel what the stock's doing, the range it has, what it's trying to do, and whatnot. So when we got up there, as you can tell, I got that first ad a little bit closer together because it felt like it didn't want to go. Anyhow, you give me kisses? You want the water table?
I don't know how to work your thing to make the water work.
I
told him he had to wait until you were done working.
Hit manual, and then the zones will pop up. Hit the zone button next to manual until it goes to 4, which is the one that's connected to the hose. And then the time will pop up, so you got to hit the right arrow. And that's how many minutes it'll stay on. And then just hit OK. Ooh, look at that drop there on VRMO. And I completely lost my train of thought. So hopefully I explained that pretty well, but man, yeah, Brian's gonna be pretty mad at this one because he got out on this candle, I think, as it was going higher. And I would have been looking to do the same thing, because like I said, usually when you get the bouncy ball effect, it'll go up and then it'll come down and make a lower low, but it didn't here. It actually made a higher low, and it looked like it was trying to go back up. So I can understand the exit there, but man, look at what it ended up doing. Accuracy last month was 95%. Here, I'll show you guys. Like I said, I was going through a little bit of a hot streak. So I started doing, come on, it's not letting me do both at the same time. So I started doing the 112 again on May 8th. So this is keeping track from May 8th. But as you can see, this is over 20 trades, and it actually should have been 100%, to be completely honest. But CAR, we kind of messed up the orders a little bit there, and we ended up with a small red trade. But over 20 trades, we ended up 95%. So, and actually, let me show you how I add these trades in each day. Might as well do that real quick. June 2nd. Go up here, add trade.
Keep it down.
Did you figure it out?
Eventually.
June 2nd, open, import. This is usually what I do after the stream, but everything's kind of slowed down. Not seeing too much. Oh, we had an unknown error. Uh-oh, that's literally the first time I've ever seen that. Live on stream. Technical errors. Let me try hitting refresh and see if that... Sometimes I have to hit refresh just to get it to load up. No, we are still processing the previous file. Interesting. I wonder if it went through and it's just saying that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, as you can see now with those two additional trades there on BZUN and VRML, it actually popped us up a little bit over 95.45%. But again, like I said, a little bit of a hot streak, picking some good winners, and we'll see what happens. Dang, Cons, you just got out of VRML? Man, so you got that drop. Hells yeah. I'm assuming you jumped back in for the sloppy seconds. Yeah, GDT is killing it. I have no words for what he's doing. He just doesn't lose. And when he does, it's usually not that big, right? So that's the key. That's what everybody says. Try to let your winners run and cut your losers and make them small. But in theory, that sounds amazing. Actually doing it is another thing, and he's doing it. He's killing it. I would agree more with Alex that it's probably more of like an 85% win rate. And like I said, it's all about being disciplined with it. I showed you guys on the Friday night live stream what happens when you're not disciplined. It's a matter of actually, let's look at LTM. This is actually a perfect example of not being disciplined. Where in the past, I would say I would jump in LTM. Price really doesn't matter. I'll just make a couple lines. But say I jumped in here, I got to add near the highs, and it's coming back down. Didn't quite get down under here where I wanted it to take off most of my position. And now it's going high of day. Well, a lot of people, and my old self, this is exactly what I did on MTSI, is I would let it go high of day, and I would just reduce down to half my position and look to add that back because we're still extended, right? I was looking at VWAP area, still extended, so I'm still looking for this thing to fall over. So I would reduce and look to add back. Well, every time you reduce like that, you're taking a realized loss. Well, if this thing just continues to just consolidate, go a little bit higher, consolidate and go a little bit higher. Well, every time it does that, you are going to fall victim to some realized losses. And before you know it, your unrealized is also going to be much bigger than you think it is because you just continually build your position, even if it's the same position size. And that's the other thing you have to realize. If you finally hit the top and then it finally starts to come back down, all those realized losses, you now only have your original share size. So you would need that thing to really come down and basically back down below your entry for you to even break even at that point, because you realize losses all the way up there. The only way to get around that is to never reduce and just keep adding. And that, we all know, is just a recipe for disaster, because if a stock wants to just climb all day, then guess what? It's going to add up pretty quickly. So that's why I like to say discipline is discipline. If for some reason we didn't take any kind of cover here and it starts to go high of day, you stop out. That's the discipline that you need, because 85-90% of the time you're going to get some continuation to the point where you're going to take your profits and it's going to be a green trade, versus when it comes back up and goes high of day like this. And even on this one, the odds are it went down below your first entry, you're going to be taking profits there. So I probably should have said like our first entry was like down here or something. But you guys get the idea. It's all about discipline. It's all about risk management. It's all about being consistent with your strategy. And that's how you make money in the stock market. Yeah, don't martingale it. Alex says trading is easy. And, I am starting to realize that trading is fairly easy. What the heck? I have to show you guys this one.
Hey, use that hot water. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. I can see the steam coming
This is Brian. Brian just posted this chart. Jeff was, I think, complaining that he. What did Jeff say? Let me catch up. I wasn't reading. Jeff said, "Screw you, VRML," because of what it was doing. Okay, and then Brian posted this. That's definitely a break-even trade. I'm thinking because he was having technical difficulties this morning. I'm wondering if that was part of it. But that's an ouchie. Oh, no, he said he started it and then the volume went to 0, which, yeah, you can see it did. So I guess he just exited because of it. Whoops. That's kind of funny. That is not a typical Brian chart at all. Take a look at Constantine's charts here. Beautiful. Way to go. Look at that VRML chart. And he traded BZUN as well. Almost the same chart, except we held on to a couple more shares and got them down here. But look at this VRML chart. That is a beauty. Looks like he missed that first pop, I think. Let me see. I think, where did we get that cover at? Sorry, I closed this down. At first it was at 509, so he did miss it a little bit, and he covered up here at 520. So I'm assuming he got it on the pop back up, and then it dropped lower. And that's where he exited. And then he restarted it up here. What a beautiful, look at that. That is a beautiful chart. Same with BZUN. That's pretty much the same exact chart, except for he covered, looks like twice here for his remaining shares, and we waited a little bit longer. Look at the patience here on the second one. Surprised because the big drop here, you'd think he would have been happy with it there, but nope. He was nice and patient, let 5 do its work, and bam. Beautiful. Well done, Constantine. Great trade. That's actually still going down, too. That's crazy. I was just talking to David in Discord. I wonder if DOS has a feature. I'm going to go ask him where it would show me my average on the chart. Because the only reason I look at my P&L over there on the left side is to see what my average is at any given time. Just so I can look to possibly take some profit out if I have to. But sometimes you catch a glimpse of the unrealized, but I do my best not to look at it. It doesn't affect me, but I do see it every once in a while just because I glance over and I'm looking for the average, but it's right next to it. I guess I could just move it over so I never look at it, but it would be pretty cool if they have the option to add that to the chart. I have to actually, I'm gonna load up a tab and ask them real quick after we end the stream. Which I actually think I might do that right now. I'm going to go be with the kids. It was a pretty good morning. There's really nothing going on at the moment, so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you all being here. If you like the content, always appreciate it if you like and subscribe. It does help the channel out just with the algorithm, all that good stuff. We are getting close to 2,000 subscribers, so we're going to be doing a nice giveaway. All I can say is there's going to be plenty to go around. There's going to be ISW, there's going to be Circuit, there's going to be just some other stuff that I have planned, probably some balls, maybe even a pair of headphones. We'll see. Not sure. If you guys notice, I have some new headphones on. These things are amazing, the Sony M3s, and that's all I have for you. So I will catch you guys in the video later today, and if not, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.